face you.
Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, guys? It's Attack on Samurai, and welcome to a discussion video about Gen 8 OU. Not, Gen 8 in general, but, just Gen 8 OU. So, I wanted to talk about this topic before the DLC comes out for Sword and Shield. Because as I'm recording, we have less than a month left until the DLC comes out. So, I wanted to give my thoughts about the gen so far, and pretty much just break down what the meta is right now. So before we get started, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord Bushido Gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Also follow me on my Pokemino, and check out my Smogon profile. All those links will be down in the descriptiones. So without further ado, let's dive in. So Gen 8, is the meta fun right now? Is the meta fun? Well, if I had to be honest, I'd probably say it's okay. It's okay. The meta's okay. It's not like, man, I don't feel like playing this. This meta sucks. It's not like that. Like it has its moments. I'll say that it has its moments of like creativity where you could see a lot of different stuff happening in the meta. Like recently, in OST. If you guys don't know what OST is, it's basically the official Smogon tournament. There was finals that happened, and one of the guys was using, or both of them were using really unique teams or really unique sets on their mons. Like one guy was running a Zero Aura with a Calm Mind, and was running a Calm Mind set, which was very, very unique compared to how it is right now with Zero Aura, because Zero Aura likes to run a mix set, being like Life Orb, Plasma Fist, Knockoff, CC, and then Grass Knot, or they go the bulk up set with leftovers. Sometimes Bandit, but Bandit isn't really that great. But a Calm Mind set was very interesting to see, and it definitely caught the opponent off guard. And then he was running some other weird stuff too. In like game 2, he was running like a Surfetch, and something else. There was one game where he was running, or where the opponent was running a substitute Kiss that was Spadef, and it was able to just wall hits very well, and just be able to kind of wear down his opponent with Air Slash. So there's a lot going on there. Then he was running like a stall breaking combo, which was also very interesting too. So the meta has some room for creativity, but it just feels kind of like compact, I'd say. I think it's really compact right now. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I definitely think that this meta should be more explored, because people are just kind of running the same stuff right now. So in terms of like power scaling and how it is different from Gen 7, everything's weaker. There are a lot of weaker mons right now. I mean, because the legendaries got taken out, and also we don't have megas right now. So it definitely feels a lot different in terms of power scaling. But so I do think it was wise on Game Freak's part to at least like try to make some kind of balance. At least they made an attempt with Sword and Shield, so I'll give them that. But Grain, I think they could have done a little bit better with it. But in the beginning though, it did feel pretty fresh. Again, just having to try out the new mons, and also when they updated the game, and they added like more legendaries again, adding Kirim, Celebi, Jirachi, the swords, and what else did they add? The starters as well. They definitely made things a little bit more interesting. You could just like experiment a little bit more with it, but still, definitely think they could have added a little bit more, and it could have been something better, I think. But so far, my favorite Gen 8 mons. These are my favorite right now that I like using. I really like Toxtricity. I've liked it since the beginning. The choice spec set is really fun. And again, it just blows through stuff pretty well too. In the beginning of the meta, when Dougie was around, you didn't really see it do that much, because it would get trapped by it. It would pretty much force it out. But now that Dougie's been banned, Dugtrio I mean, has been banned, there is more, room for this mon to do stuff. But at the same time, it still feels kind of limited with how Sand is starting to rise up now. So still, this mon could definitely do what it does. Again, running the choice spec set, you can run shift gear or the shift gear set as well. With this form anyway. With the other form, you're kind of forced to go for specs. Again, in my recent video, I did try a sub Endeavor set, so I'll probably like leave that down or maybe like show it on the side or something. But it was a really cool set to try out. And again, just experiment with a different form. But Toxtricity definitely has some stuff going for it. I do hope that with the DLC, when they add new moves or new move tutor moves, that this mon gets some coverage for dark types, or get some dark coverage, because I mean, this isn't enough. If it had like Dark Pulse, it could actually check Dragapult pretty decently too. But didn't really get that. Speaking of Dragapult, this is my second favorite mon to use. Dragapult is very versatile, but it's very weak on the special side, so you kind of have to just play off that. Again, it has the same attack as Flygon, and that's really, or the same special attack, or the same attack set as Flygon for a special attack, so it's not really that great when you compare it like that. But still, its typing is very, very good. Again, this being the second typing to the second typing to Giratina makes Dragapult pretty unique in that way. And again, its speed tier is fantastic as well, being the second fastest mon in the tier, being the fastest at first before Zeraora came with the update for pre-home, or for home. But still, there's a lot you can do with this mon. You can run it specs, Twist Scarf, Modest. In the beginning they ran Timid, but Timid was very weak, so now everyone's hip to Modest. You can run the Dragodon set as well, as its attack set is very, very solid. Again, a 120 attack set is very good on this mon. And again, its signature move in Dragon Darts just hits twice, so it's basically a 100 base attack move. So it's very, very strong after a DD. Again, just breaking sashes as well, and just can wear down stuff pretty fast. And normally this mon is ran with Infiltrator, so it could break through subs as well. So you can't really sub on this mon safely. And again, that speed tier just kind of like makes sure that it could outspeed subbed up mons. So it's very solid in that regard. Yeah, it's just a really good speed control mon. Very, very good speed control mon, and just a really reliable setup sweeper. Then we have Cinderace. So Cinderace is my third favorite mon so far. Cinderace has been going through some stuff. Originally, I think in the beginning of the meta, people were running it Twist Scarf, I believe. Then I think it was Bandit after that. Then it went to Boots, where people were running, Boots with Court Change. And Court Change is still, in my opinion, one of the best moves that Cinderace ever got, or it's still one of the best moves that Cinderace got, just because it allows it to be a mon that could, again, like, get rid of hazards, a hazard removal. Technically a hazard removal, but it's more like a magic bounce user, in that sense. Being able to just kick hazards back is really, really cool. Again, just makes this starter very unique out of the other two, in my opinion. And also its signature move in Pyro Ball as well, being a base 120 attack, or base 120 fire type attack that has no kind of like setback besides a 90% accurate, besides it being 90% accurate and only having 8 PP. This mon, that move is very strong, like very, very strong, especially once it gets into blaze range. Like mons get hit pretty hard, even resisted mons too. Like, it's insane how hard this mon can hit. But yeah, the choice band set's starting to become common now, or starting to become a little bit popular now. As it could just hit a lot harder with Power Ball, HJK, U-Turn, and Sucker Punch. Once this mon gets Libero, it's gonna be very, very versatile, I'm gonna say. Again, it's just gonna have a lot more stuff going for it, especially with whatever move tutor moves that they put in the DLC. It's definitely gonna be a lot that this mon's gonna be capable of doing with Libero. So I'm very excited for when that drops. Hopefully it does drop in the Isle of Armor DLC. That'll be really, really cool. But if not, well, it'll eventually come. But I hope it does drop in this DLC coming. Then we have the hat. So hat is, man, that Hat is such a reliable mon. Like it's such a really good and reliable mon to just use, just because again you have the magic bounce, so your opponent can't even go for hazards on you. You can pretty much set up on a hazard setter, um, to some extent, or even just a mon that likes to throw off like again utility moves. You can just set up on them pretty easily. Um, and people have been running it very differently, or have been running it in many different ways. Again, you could run it as a trick room setter. You could run it as a defensive wall. You could run it as an AV mon. Again, you could even make it specs to some extent. Granted, it's really slow, but you can still get off some really strong. You can still get off some really strong attacks with it being choice specs. So has a lot going for it in that regard. But AV is probably the most popular one right now. Or AV and the defensive set are the most popular one right now, as they're just able to take on Kirim decently well, and even Aegislash to some extent. I'm not saying like it could just wall it for days, but it can kind of like sponge at least like a couple of hits or so. But yeah, again, very very reliable mon, and I think it's honestly slept on in my opinion. I think this mon needs to be used more. Again, it has a lot more to offer in this tier, I believe. At one point, I don't know about its usage, but I think its usage might have dropped at one point. Might still be dropping, I'm not too sure, but I do know that this mon is lacking, or this mon, not lacking. It just needs to be used more. It's a very solid mon, very very solid mon. So yeah. Then next we have Surfetch. So Surfetch is a mon that I did enjoy using. I need to use it more, honestly. It's a very solid wall breaker, and again, what makes this mon unique is that Farfetch finally got an evolution after like 20 years. Like, people have been wanting this mon to evolve for 20 years, bro. 20 years, and finally Game Freak delivered and said, you know what, we're gonna give you an evolution. And actually this mon, or I mean like it was crap. Surfetch was like how it was leaked. It was leaked from the gold and silver demo that they had that Game Freak I think released unintentionally, or they leaked it or something like that. Leaked, but yeah. Still, definitely a solid mon too. Choice Band has been my favorite set, just because it just hits so hard. Like, nothing really takes it that well. Even if Powdon takes like 60%, and that's like one of the best defensive mons in the tier. So CC hurts. CC hurts a lot off this mon. Again, it doesn't have too many switch-ins, honestly, and I think it's a mon that needs to be explored too. And also there's this ability in Scrappy which can just body ghost types. So Aegislash can't come in here for free. Dragapult can't come in for free because they're both gonna get beat down by CC. So it just hits incredibly hard. I know that I think in UU they also run the leak set. So what the leak does is that it has a chance to or I mean it's always gonna crit. Has like, oh, the crit rate is up by 2. So this mon's gonna crit like almost guaranteed. So yeah, but leak has been is like a lesser used item, but it's still there. So you have that option, but definitely Choice Band is the way to go if you want to use Surfetch, in my opinion. And again, it just has really good like moves as well. Again, CC being its strongest move, does get access to, again, a little bit more options as well. Has first impression, has quick attack as well for priority options. Poison jab to deal with the fairies, knockoff to get rid of items and such, and deal with the ghosts or whatever else comes in, just scouting for stuff. Like, it's very very solid. Again, another unexplored mon that I think people need to try out more. And then lastly we have Corviknight. So Corviknight is my favorite, is my last favorite or least favorite. I'm not gonna say it's like the one I don't like. I actually do like Corviknight. It's very good. It's just I like it least of the others. So Corviknight has been going through a very long journey of how it has just been amazing straight from the beginning. Even during the Dynamax meta, where it was just like a sweeper pretty much. But now its role has reversed to it being a very, very solid defensive mon. And Corviknight has a lot of options, honestly. Again, you can make it specially defensive. You can make it defensive with body press. You could run the sub bulk up set. Again, like, let me show you like the sub bulk up set. Where's bulk up at? Oh wait, yeah, there's bulk up. The sub bulk up set with Roost. Again, you could make it like Iron Head U-turn. Again, running that Spadef set, so you can deal with Clef and also deal with Kyurem. There was even the Power Trip set that was running around for a little bit. You can also be a taunt user as well, so you can kind of like pressure again, like Toad from getting up rocks, pressure Clef from even teleporting. Like, there's a lot of options that Corviknight has, and that makes it very, very unique. Even more unique than the other steel and flying systems we've had so far. But definitely, actually, no, I think Celesteela still takes that cake over Corviknight. Corviknight's just a really good defensive mon overall. Again, just very versatile in its role of what it can do. And again, it's really good at pressure stalling as well. Especially if you pair it with Spite, then you could really do some nasty stuff with this mon. You could really do some really nasty stuff with this. But again, its typing is just solid overall. Again, just being able to be a natural resist to Escadrille, which is very good as well. And again, body pressures helps it so well because it deals with opposing steals. Again, dealing with being able to check Bisharp, being able to check other dark types as well. Again, like catching a Hydreigon on the switch in, getting chip on Mandibuzz, checking Terrakion, checking T-Tar as well. Like, it has a lot of options going for it, and that's what makes it very solid right now. Very solid mon, very, very solid mon. But yeah, those are probably my favorite mons of this gen so far. It'll probably change once the DLC comes out and we get to see even more mons. I do want to experiment with other. I haven't really finished experimenting with the other Gen 8 mons yet. Like, I know that there's some other mons I want to try out. Like, I eventually want to try out. Well, actually, I haven't tried out the fossils for real. Like, I haven't really tried out. Okay, that's not a lie. I did try out Dracovish, like maybe like once or twice, but I haven't really like dived into it. And honestly, I don't really like Dracovish. Dracovish is just a very annoying mon. I'll get into it real soon. I haven't even tried Dracozolt yet. Like, I legit haven't even tried this mon out yet either. But yeah, there's definitely a couple of other Gen 8 mons I haven't really experimented with yet. So I eventually want to do that, and again, just see what other mons I could use. Oh, Weezing is also fun too. I like that mon. That mon's also really good. I think this is another slept on mon too. People need to use Weezing more. Again, that ability in neutralizing gas is just so funny. It's just such a funny ability to use, in my opinion. Centiskorch is another mon I want to try out too. Haven't really. Well, actually, no. I did have a team that I was trying to use with it before the Dynamax clause happened, or the Dynamax ban happened. But it never, I never got the chance to use it. So yeah, this is a mon I do want to experiment with because it looks like it's been doing some work, especially in UU, from what I've been seeing, and from what people have been saying about this mon. But that pretty much covers my favorite mon so far in Gen 8. So that was probably like what 10 minutes or something, probably more than 10 minutes. But yeah, I do want to experiment with more of them.